got till it's gone. It'd be a paradise to put up a fucking line.
Well, and I mean, I'm pretty sure Nathan Blackwell in that clip said that, or maybe you're going to bring it up here in a minute, the other half of that about the health.
Oh, yeah, no, that was there.
Okay.
It was there.
The health is the number one most important thing, and I'm pretty sure that he referenced possibly looking into doing some testing.
Yes,
He did.
Um,
He did.
Did they ever do it?
I mean, if
He
they
talked about compensation that was
Yeah,
going
that
to be
never
looked
happened.
at
That would've
by
been
the
a
city
more update.
manager, and they were going to do research to see if the resin that you
harmful.
are drinking is harmful to you.
So wouldn't that be in a water update if he did do that? I would
Right.
think
I
that
mean,
would
have
definitely
have you
been-
guys heard
Pertinent.
anything
Nothing.
about compensation?
None of the above.
No,
None of the above.
no.
I
The
would
only
love-
the only thing we ever heard about compensation was that meeting,
the one meeting in
and
February last year.
we would have had to do the legwork to receive that compensation. They weren't going to come to us. They wanted us to fill out forms, and then we would have to wait God knows how long. And
Were those
I
the
don't
same
know.
forms that they put on their website? Oh, they didn't put them on the website.
That's right.
I'm just kidding. I'm a funny gal.
They
I'm just
talked
kidding.
about talking to an insurance adjuster and
Because they were going to try to, because so many people had things that were completely forever. The refrigerators, we saw pictures of like where the water
Ice-
comes out.
the ice-
Unbelievable stains that washing machines they don't come out. Like
No.
I've
Yeah.
seen
Yeah.
pictures. There's
the only
nothing
place I've been
coming-
able to get it fully out of is like my
Toilet.
tub that's like plastic
And
that I can,
toilet.
but it takes a lot of scrubbing.
I have a porcelain
And
tub.
bleach.
It's a beast. It's a beast. It takes a lot of. I use a lot of baking soda, and unfortunately, a Brillo pad because when it, when you're gone and it's your guest bathroom, and I'm not in there every day. You know what I mean? That's the problem when it trickles or anything like that. But you know what really gets to me too? Not only did they have the opportunity and the forum and the platform to come out and to make all these updates about what they've learned since the time you had the meeting, because I would think at some point in time they would have been doing research. I would have thought that there would have been an update on where you can come to contact them to have your water tested for anything. And then here's the other kicker. Then I saw your litmus paper that had a bleach test or a chlorine test on it. I'm sorry.
Yes.
And it said
Can't swim in it.
yeah. Go ahead.
The
and tell
water
them.
had so much chlorine. I used a pool
Litmus
tester.
paper.
I put it in the water, and it said you can't swim in the water. So I told the who is it, the DEP? I always say the wrong one.
DPA.
We told them,
DEP.
and they said it was the wrong test, and I go.
Marjorie
I don't-
actually just told me the same thing.
I
that
don't
it's
ca-
because
Marjorie
of
said
the
it's-
because of the type of chlorine that they
Doesn't-
use, that it won't register properly on a pool
Doesn't
test.
matter. I look at it this way: if a stick tells me I can't swim in it, there's nothing about me that thinks I can drink it. I don't care what test. Don't believe that. But
Yeah, it's reading off the
another
charts.
thing that we
Yeah.
did ask, I forgot. We asked them what filter to use because this is not like a normal contaminant. It's so small. We didn't know the size of the resin, and we asked them what kind of filter. Because we've actually
We
had
still haven't
people.
got a response about
We haven't
that.
got a response, and we asked them that because we had people that had a filter. Was it HEPA or what? They had some-
HEPA.
and it showed even after going through that filter,
Oh,
they
yeah.
still had it. So that's why we asked the city what filters work, because we've had people that had them and it went past
Well,
the filter.
I know that I just recently got a new fridge, and I was like, yes, I don't have to buy bottled water. I have a filter on it. Now my son has been drinking bottled water from birth because I'm not going to give him city water.
Because you love your kid.
Yeah, I'd like him to live.
Yeah.
And I gave him water in his cup for like 2 days, and
Through the filter
he
of the
was he was sick. I use bottled water for him because I don't know if it was getting through there and it was making him sick, or
'Cause you don't
maybe
know which
it's because
filters
his
work.
body has never consumed city water. It could be just that, but it was concerning enough for me to not give it to him again. Which the whole purpose of spending extra money on a fridge
For the
With
filter.
the
with a filter was to defeat that.
Well, I know your husband, my husband, have had multiple conversations
Yes.
about the dryness in their skin, and then
After
I know
showers.
Tom himself.
After showers.
And I think that's the biggest thing is our health.
Yeah.
and
It
our
is.
family members.
Sure.
If your skin's getting irritated after the shower,
It would be at
Without
least nice
not
to
even
know the
using
challenges
soap
we're
yet?
facing. That's the problem. We don't even know what we're facing.
Right.
I mean, I had a friend of mine who did her internship for a surge tech at the St. Cloud Hospital, and the doctors had made mention, this was years ago, the doctors had made mention that they had so many young people coming in with gallbladder surgeries that they were losing their gallbladders. And, the doctors had made jokes with each other that they think it's the city water. Well, Maybe
Yeah.
it's not a joke.
Yeah, maybe it
Can't
is.
discount it, right?
Maybe
You know?
it is.
It's just, I think I know Michelle and I feel like broken records at this point. Like, and then to be insulted every time.
And maybe
Very
that's
much
why
insulted.
the city is so defensive on this. Is maybe they do know something that they're not telling us.
That's a
don't know.
possibility.
Possibly.
I wouldn't put it past.
I think now I think that after, right after this is when the pandemic started. So we
backed off.
all
We backed off.
had things going on.
Absolutely.
Everybody was just trying to
We did.
survive.
We did back off.
Find toilet paper for the city water we were
Trying to
drinking.
find toilet paper.
And,
yeah.
No wonder there was a shortage. I'm kidding.
And
I'm
so
kidding.
we kind of put it on the back burner, and also ice pigging was happening during that time too. We all
I kind of
saw
gave that the benefit
not all
of the
of
doubt.
us,
Yeah.
but some of us had, even myself, had better quality water that was coming through our pipes after the ice pigging. And I was
hope.
hopeful. I was
Yeah.
hopeful. So I'm not going to go and I'm not going to bash and continue to, harp on a situation that I can see that they're trying to fix.
Yeah.
Right.
But
We're not saying that the city's not doing anything. We know they're doing
Right.
something.
But it's been enough time. It's been enough time to not band-aid. It's been enough time to fix.
right.
We
And
had a budget. We had an idea. You had a plan. You had a suggestion. Why?
And the
I asked
mayor
them if
did
there's
say
a-
in that video, he did say that if they felt like the IMAX system wasn't working, that they would try something else.
yeah,
that they
he
would
did. He
reinvest in
did
something
say that
else.
possibly they would have to switch the process.
Yeah.
Which great if that's what it's going to take.
And like you said, when you felt that the ice pigging was working
Yeah.
for those many months, you weren't bashing the city.
No, I had
But,
no
but here's the
reason
thing:
to.
the moment this lady got up to the
To
podium,
say that
Miss
there was a problem
Lowen,
again.
Yeah.
they attacked her. I mean, it
And-
was like social media is all
Well, yeah,
full of
and
misinformation.
that's how I feel too.
Quit being so
I'm-
defensive. Just take what she's saying to heart and fix her problem.
Transparency.
I'm
has
sure
been
that
a
they
strong
all
point
saw
for
me on the news. I have no doubt that they watched my interview,
Yeah.
and that's exactly why they went after social media. Because guess what? If I don't have a problem, I don't have something to complain about. But
Absolutely.
when I see a problem again, you're gonna hear my voice, and you might not like it, but that doesn't mean it's a
Try
lie.
to-
I can
So
start
I work
watching
in
you
my
on the
post
news
office.
going,
I hear the
"Not
citizens'
her
complaints
again."
all day, every day,
Right.
and I try to help them with whatever I can.
Well,
but-
we right here, the three of us who live in subdivisions. Well, I know Chris is a grid person, but we are subdivision, and we are three subdivisions within less than about a mile of each
Yeah.
other. And so it's kind of funny because you guys are in the middle, and then there's Tom's on one side, I'm on the other, and I know how it's been affecting my home. And like I said, well before I knew you guys, and I actually sought out something and that's how I found your initial page. Well before I knew you guys. And before we got involved with the mayoral campaign because we wanted to change. Thanks everybody who didn't. Because you should come and drink my water. So, and clean my tub. And so what frustrates me is this has been years and years and years, like we've said. We're not the only people.
Yeah.
And everybody's been saying the same thing. I got told this, I got told this. It's like they're a broken record.
Yeah.
It's like they have a script from the IMAX theater that they're watching our lives on. And that's what frustrates me. If you were transparent with me and you said, we're aware this is happening, let me be preemptive. Let me say, I empathize with you. Listen, I live in the subdivision down the street from you. And this is what my grandchildren, my children, people were coming back and they were backlashing Michelle. To be fair, on Michelle's one video, she was called angry. She was called, I'd be angry too if my entire family, I have to look at my entire family. Michelle's an amazing grandmother. That is one thing. If you know Michelle, you know her grandchildren mean the world to her. Her kids, she don't like. No, I'm kidding. I'm joking.
Yeah, okay,
But her grandkids mean the world to her. And so you're looking at these little faces and you're thinking, I'm bathing them in it. I'm cooking.
Yep.
I have to wash their clothes.
Thank God I never bathed their baby bottles, but let me tell you,
Yeah.
when I did do the speech of that one meeting, that's what I was thinking of. Had
Sure.
I given
Because you know
that
why? Because
baby
you and I
that-
can afford to buy a bottle of water.
and
Not
everybody
everybody can afford.
And when I started getting really, really loud about this, even before that meeting in October, when I found out I was pregnant, because I was like, okay, it's one thing if I do this to myself.
Sure.
It's another thing if I have
Sure.
a child and they're
And things
exposed to
affect children different than it does a fetus.
And the-
I mean, that's the truth. When you're pregnant, your body absorbs things differently and
Right.
your body reacts differently. And the other thing, that really gets me worked up about this whole situation is I had people come in when I wrote the post back in, I think it was October, about, I drink bottled water because I like it. Good for you. The problem
You get
is
that- you
I
get
don't
that
have a
option.
choice.
Not everybody has that option.
Okay, and
And
I'll
not
tell you
everybody
right
can
now,
afford it.
it's very expensive. I have a 5-gallon bubbler, and I still buy cases of water constantly.
Yeah.
Should I have to? No. You know why? Because my water bill gets paid every month and it steadily rises and rises and rises. And I don't know if anybody else has noticed, but there's times where I'm gone for a week at a time on a vacation, or I'm going to see family or whatever, and I come back and my water can sometimes higher than it was. And yet I know a whole week I wasn't in my home.
We actually, our meter, they had to
Yeah.
get through to it because there's so much stuff on it.
Yeah.
And we were like, when they had to replace or something, they couldn't get to it. I'm like,
Yeah.
how are they
reading
it all this
Yeah.
time if you couldn't
They'll
get
tell you
to
it's
it?
digital. They'll tell you it's digital.
No, it wasn't.
Yeah.
This was
Yeah, it's
years,
digital.
This is
But
years
that's what
ago.
frustrates me. I mean, these are the things. Like I said, if you were transparent and I didn't catch the city lying on other things,
Yeah, that's the problem.
This isn't the only thing.
And
Well-
the other thing is just one last thing about the media. They didn't start this ice pigging and this next set of really the first set except for Band-Aid.
the first time I saw it was St. Patty's Day of last year when I was quarantined in my home and I walked out and I had no water. And I walked out and there was a dude just kind of, I'm like, oh, who are you? Why are you on my lawn? What do you know what I mean?
Right.
No notes, no nothing, no bottled water. And I just want to say something really fast. The subdivision directly across the street from me, I have a very good friend who lives there. And she received a tag on her door. Fantabulous. She did get a case of water. I'm going to tell you what that case of water said on it. The label was from a funeral home.
A local funeral home.
So if the city is buying water with a funeral home label on it, maybe that's why your budget is blown and you can't afford
or maybe
to give it
the
to every
funeral
citizen.
home donated it.
Well, of course, that's
right,
the
but
situation.
that's what she's saying is they didn't.
I
do
mean,
it.
come on, you're telling people you can't afford to give them water when their water's shut down for 6 days, and you're giving out bottled water from a funeral home because like that's not morbid or anything.
But they didn't start this until, I don't know, we had the meeting and then Osceola News Gazette was involved. Then we got, I don't remember how many news stations right after that. The ice picking didn't start, they had 3 years. We had a meeting with news cameras there. That was what happened at that
Right.
meeting.
Yes.
All of a sudden now they're like, oh, I got an idea, let's ice pick. That 3 years before that they weren't doing that. What were they doing? And when he was in that meeting and he says, I inherited this 3 years ago, I would have said what I did the last 3 years instead of I inherited
Was
it.
this,
Correct.
and
I would have said,
And
I
this
know
is
I
where
got
we're
this
at.
This is
3
what
years ago.
I've been working to do to
That's
fix
what I would have
this.
said.
Right.
I would have said, I got this 3 years ago.
Right.
This is what I've been doing. I have been working for you, and this is what
I was
I've been doing.
researching.
And I will give credit to Councilmember Trace on that, is that he did go online and research ice pegging and brought that
And
forth,
actually,
too.
Chuck Cooper did look into a lot of that, and he did. I'll give him credit.
I
on it as
appreciate
well.
Councilman Trace and Cooper because I
Yeah.
got to tell you, without them and you guys being the squeaky wheel that get the grease, like how bad would have our water been now?